Actual work begins on the MFP. Good Tuesday morning to you all YouTube. As you can see, it's 11:20. Well, actually 11:21 now. Just switched in the morning, and I'm here in my easy chair where I like to be a lot. And what I'm doing is going to show you some pictures of some of the work I did over the weekend. Today I can't do anything. My left arm is pretty much useless. As it does usually, the gout in my elbow has moved down to my wrist, and basically my whole forearm is just pretty much paralyzed right now. You can move it a little bit, but not much. So I'm going to try to do this best I can, one-handed, and show you what I did on the work on the MFP. Let's see. Let's start out first picture. Here you can see the brace that's behind the MFP, the metal brace. You recall that I put that in there to stabilize the variac. Just the tin itself on the faceplate was really not strong enough to hold that, and this one is. But I didn't need the whole thing. As you can see, this part over here is excess. I don't really need it. This is where the variac itself will go, and so I've got me a line drawn there in the thing to cut it off. So let's take a look at the next slide. There we go. There's my trusty Dremel. As you can see, I've already started cutting, but I tend to use those things right down as far as they'll go. I get my money's worth out of those, and those safety, I don't know what they're called, but they are very, very much better than the little really thin ones that come with the Dremel. These are a safety lock or something like that. But anyway, these things work great. And so that's where I was cutting it out. And let's see what the next one is. There you see it is cut out, and I have I've deburred the end here, and I've marked some holes where to drill some holes after putting it into the slot where it goes. Now these, at first I was going to try to make spacers and make it come up here, but after I got to looking at it, well, this is a much better thing. You take and make holes in this and the face panel, and I think you'll see next one comes up like that. You just basically run some self-tappers in there, and it's held in place just as fine as frog hair, as they say. So that's what I did, and that made that work out rather well. There's what the backside looks screwed in, and that is very steady in there, and it's perfect. So I'm not going to complain about that. Move on to the next one. This is 6. Now, next thing I did was to test fit the meters. This is the voltmeter on top. Basically just sitting there. It's not been marked out or anything. I just wanted to basically see how well it would fit up there, and that's what I did. So next one is, you can see the top meter still sitting there, and I thought I would try the bottom meter. Now the bottom meter is a lot smaller than the top one. So as you can see, if you look at this line going down through here, this is very close. Right through here. So I'm going to have to cut out some of the brace, notch it a little bit to where I can get that in there, and that's what I had to do next. So let's take a look at that real quick. There's our marks for the cutout. I've already started cutting. You see here I cut here, and I'm coming up this and basically cut all this out is what I did, because you can't cut that kind of thing out, but even if you could, why would you want to? You just cut it here and it comes out, and that worked out really well, so as you'll see in the next one. So there you can see it is mounted in there, and everything is screwed in, and it works out very well. That's the ammeter on the bottom now. So that's basically, that's where I stopped. I didn't stop, but well, yes, I did actually. And the video portion of this will start out with the basically the picture of this from the front, and we'll go from there. So, all right, let's go over to that. Good evening, YouTube. Here with you on a Saturday evening. This is the multifunction panel, the MPF. No, MFP. Okay, that's better. MFP, yeah. I'm probably only going to do a daily update type thing. I'm not going to show you this work because this work is hard to do. It's trying to film something, and it doesn't make sense to do that. So I'm just doing it this way. I will turn it around and show you the other side, but that's the ammeter in place. It's nice and tight. That's just sitting there, just looking pretty. It's not mounted or anything. It's just, like I said, I just wanted to see what it was going to look like, and it looks pretty darn good, I think. That's basically how it's going to go, though, when I do get it on there. And we'll go from 0 to 100, obviously. But anyway, that's the way that looks on this side. Let me take you around this side a little bit and see it a little bit closer that way. It's got a little bit of a, there's a little bit of a thing there you can see, but this is all going to get painted, and it's not going to show that any of that's going to show at all. And so it's in there nice and tight. I was really surprised at how nicely that is mounted in there. Very surprised, as a matter of fact. I usually don't get them that close, especially when using the Dremel with the cutoff wheel. But I took my time. And again, I didn't try to film it. I was taking some pictures for Bob, pass those along to him. But other than that, I didn't do anything else. You may notice here's, I think it's Bob saying, tell me good night because it's almost 9 o'clock. Notice a couple screws here in the front. Those are what holds that brace in for that. I'm going to take these off. We're going to turn it around and show you what that looks like. Right there you can see the brace goes over here. There's just 2 metal screws in there, self-tappers, whatever you want to call them. This is the one that holds the end on, and I obviously don't have the bottom on, and these are the wires for the meter. Just sort of flapping in the breeze right now because I've just got it in there. When I take this apart, I can take the meter back out. It comes out rather easily then. But for right now, that's what she looks like. Go down a little bit lower so you can see down here. You can see, like I said, it's not bad at all. Let me turn it up a little bit like that. Not bad at all. I'm very happy with the way this turned out. Very happy with getting this cut off. It gives me all this area over here to use as I wish, and it will be used differently than with that brace in there, obviously. So, but that's how that's set up, and it's good and secure in there. Less secure than it was before. Actually, maybe a little bit more secure because there's pressure points here, or not pressure points, but stabilization points here instead of all the way at the other end of the brace. So actually, it makes it a little bit stiffer that way, I think. But that's gonna, like I said, that's gonna do that part of it, and that will that's gonna be the trying to get this wire out of here. Oh, I got stuck in there. There it is. That's going to be the ammeter part of it, and like I said, the other part will be for the voltage meter, and it's going to be. Let's raise the camera up, Doug. I'm pointing at things and nobody's there to look at. But the voltmeter will sit up in this area, and there's plenty of room for it up here. I don't have to do any cutting on this at all. And I decided, like I said, when I put that what do you call it up, that picture of this, I decided to go up and down with the meters, voltage on top, ammeter on the bottom. And I still have plenty of room to add if I want to, add the jacks here on each side of the ammeter. I can do that. I don't have to. There's other places I can put them. I can go here.
So, you know, there's all kinds of places, possibilities on doing that. I just wanted to get this part mounted and get the meters in place. Once that's done, then we can begin adding switches. There's at least 2 switches that gets added in with this. A fuse. I've decided yet if I'm using 1 or 2 fuses, but whichever way I go, that's got to be done. Again, that's on down the road. That's not part of this plan. This plan is just getting the faceplate, the MPF or MFP. I keep getting that wrong. MFP cut out, and all the orifices that's necessary in it to where I can sand it down, paint it, and it'll be ready to go. Again, all this comes apart easily, so that's going to be good. And for these connections here, I'm going to be using the push-on connectors because it just makes sense. It makes it easier, and like I said, I just want to do it that way. So that's that. I did have to obviously trim that out a little bit. This is required a little more trimming than I had hoped to do or wanted to do, but especially down here. But like I said, I think it turned out really well. I'm really impressed on how tight it fits and just how good it fits. And so I think it was worth the extra effort to get it in place really good. So hoping that's going to stay with us with the upper one, and if it does, then I'll be really happy. But because cutting these meter things out are probably the hardest thing I have to do. Next thing will be is that one for the DMM, because it's a large area. It's got to be cut out, and believe it or not, this cuts easier than this does with the Dremel. That wheel, cutoff wheel, I put a fresh one on after I got this cut, and it just does not want to cut that as easily as it does that. I guess it's the difference in the makeup or whatever, but this has got more of aluminum probably in it. So anyway, that's really all there is to that. And again, very happy with that. I just now noticed that's sticking up a little bit. I don't know why. I'll get it down though, but it's not a big deal. Yep, so get that fixed, and like I said, there's more tweaking. It's just sitting in there about as loosely as it can get. I don't have anything tightened down really other than the screws just to see what it looked like. So, alright, that's going to do it. The first update for this. I don't know when I'll put in a video for this, but for right now, this is just the first night, Saturday night, and I don't know, I don't get to work much on it tomorrow. I'm supposed to go to a birthday party for my granddaughter, Kennedy, out to my daughter's house, and so that's at 4 o'clock, so really at 4 o'clock, 4 o'clock you can't work before it, you can't work after it that much, so, you know, I guess you could, but it depends on how long I stay out there, I guess. But anyway, that's that. You guys have a great one, and we'll see you on the next installment. Good Sunday afternoon to you all, YouTube. It's 1:36 in the PM. As you can see here, clearly, hopefully, this is what it's going to look like. These are mounted, not mounted permanently, but they are mounted temporarily. This one is in pretty good. That's good and tight. That one needs to be it's still a little bit loose, but I have a way of tightening those up where they come out really nice. So that's the voltmeter, that's the ammeter, and of course that's the dial that turns it up and down. Went in pretty good. Not perfect, but you know, it took a little bit of a not sure what the word is. Finagling. I guess that's a good word, finagling. If you all know what that means. I'm sure everybody does. But let me turn it around and show you the back side, and show you what it's going to look like on the inside. As you can see, it is not bad. There's quite a bit of space between the top one and the top of this bracket. Now I had to cut out the bottom one. We'll look at it again quite a bit to get it to where it needs to be, but it is where it needs to be, and it looks and is actually in there really nice and tight. I'm very pleased with that. Like I said, the top one's just a little loose, but like I said, I've got ways of tightening them up. and that will be done. So anywho, that's, like I said, that's completely mounted in there as far as how it's going to mount. Basically what I wanted to do was get this all mounted, hard mounted, test mounted, whatever you want to call it. And then all that's coming right back out again. I've had it in and out several times. But the next thing I'm going to consider is probably switches. I've got that double or triple pole. I think it's triple pole, or yeah, triple pole. Double throw switch. Or maybe it's double throw triple pole. I don't know how you say it, but anyway, that's what it is. And like I said, that's coming next, probably. Looks like it's going to be probably maybe here. I'm not really sure yet. Maybe down here. I'm not really, like I said, I'm just not really sure yet exactly how I want to do it. But that will be my next project. I could put it up here next to the voltmeter too. You know, it's not a big deal one way or the other. Leads are come out here. They're plenty long to get wherever I need to go with them, I'm pretty sure. These here are not quite as long, but still they're long enough. So, like I say, that's a quick look at it. I'm very, very pleased with it. You can see how loose that is there. But like I say, I get that tightened back up. It would stay in there just fine, just like it is. But you know, I do want to tighten it up, and we'll get that done. And that'll be on the final. After it's painted and everything else, that will be done then. So, well, so the bottom one is tight. It doesn't have to be nothing done to it. There's no problem with it at all. And I think it turned out rather nice. Here's a look at the side angle of it. The reason that the knob's not on there and the dial is I just had them sitting on there for a picture, and that's all. Now this marking stuff, that's not a big deal. Like I said, it's all going to be painted, and that will be sanded down as well. This fits in really nice. I was really pleased with that because I was having some problems getting it. I thought I was going to have to make it go up or down on the which, you know, that really wouldn't matter because there's going to be a scale over the top of it anyway, so it really wouldn't have mattered. But I just wanted it to fit good, and it fits good like it is. So, happy about that. Like I said, I wish this would have come out just a little bit tighter, but it is what it is. The rest of the ones I've put in, like the one on the AC panel, they're a little bit loose too. You just never notice it because you don't take it in and out. It stays in one place. So, like I said, that's pretty much it. Again, I'm trying to think, I should say, where the best place to mount that switch would be. If I mount it up here, I don't know. I'd love to have it, right in here or just right in here. Probably right in here. Probably would be a good place. I don't know. We'll think about it, more about it. I think like I said, the master switch, I think, is what's going to control this. It's not gonna be controlled by a single. Each circuit is not going to be. In other words, once it's flipped on, everything comes on. So I think that's the way I want it. And in other words, it just activates the panel, and that's what I want. Now this particular switch here, the one that goes from, it's got 3 positions. Yeah, it is 3 position. Has a center off, so it won't be a problem to leave it all off, and that way there's no chance of any. Well, it'd be voltage at the tap anyway. But like I say, it's not going to be a problem. So you can see clearly if there's voltage on it. I mean, it show up there on the meter. So. Alright, that's going to do me. That's part number 2 of this, I guess. Not sure when I'll get back to this. I still have to go out to my daughter's house to have the party, and that's at Forge Day. It's 1:43, so I'm getting ready to get ready to go out there. And she just texted me a minute ago and asked me to bring a chair if I was coming, so I have those in the car. Not a big deal there. Anyway, that's about it. I'm very pleased with how this project's progressing now after I've got it planned out, and that was the hard part for me, was getting everything and all my ducks in a row and things like that, and this worked out perfectly, and I was really happy about that bracket, and that way it's all out of the way, it's solid. I love it. It works great. So anybody considering something like this, these dryer or washer, either one, they're the same thing, are ideal. Now, I said before that it was harder to cut these, but I think it's harder to cut that bracket than it was this. Once you get started on this, it just goes like butter. But the brackets, you know, they're pretty hard to cut because they're a little thicker. But like I said, it cut out pretty easy. I was kind of amazed at how well the holes did. Let me show you the hole for it. Now, it's not a big deal, but the hole is really nice and square. I was really pleased with that. Like I said, it's not a big deal. You can see it's tight in there. It's just loose fitting. It's not going to come out easily, obviously. But anywho, that's that. All right. I don't know if I'm going to add any more to this. We'll see, but I may. Next thing I'll be working on, I said the switch, but I think I'm going to avoid that right now, and I'm going down to this end and start cutting on this end. I think that's the next order of business. I'll take all that apart and put it up out of the way so it doesn't get all the little shavings in it, because those shavings go everywhere. And once that's done, I will start getting the DMM out and start tracing around it. I think what I'm going to do is cut the there's 4 holes has to be drilled first, that will let that go down in there a little bit more, and then I can trace out the outline of it, and then I can decide how far in to go from there, as far as because it doesn't need to use the whole. If I cut out the whole outline, it would just fall through. So I need to come in a little amount on all sides and all around the outline of it, and that should let it fall right down into place. And not sure how I'm going to bolt that in yet. It's going to have some kind of a spring type, or not spring type so much, but a like washers to come out that will allow me to, when I put the screws into the case, the top case half, it will pull that down in there, and there's something to pull against. So that's going to have to be done as well. So, all right, that's going to do me. You guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see ya.